Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. My name is Top Nugget, and I am here to share with you on another uh, AI Fundamentals Learning Byte. Today, we're going to talk about what is AI. And as you know, these are short messages, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, where we talk about pertinent topics within the whole AI landscape. Today, we're talking about what AI is. And AI is artificial intelligence, and that's a technology that allows computers to perform tasks that normally require human intelligence. Now, this is a classical definition, and within that fits things like, being able to recognize patterns, being able to make predictions, understanding human language or natural language, as we call it in the computer world, generating useful outputs like pictures and videos, etc. And AI can support decisions and workflows, like helping people to decide whether or not to give me a loan or whether I should not have one based on my past history. No, what AI is not, and this is very powerful, very useful, but it's often misunderstood. You need to keep in mind that AI is not a perfect source of truth. It does not always get it right. It's not always correct. It's not always objective. AI can be biased, just how, human beings can be biased, AI can be biased as well. And we'll learn how that all works in subsequent lessons. AI is not, therefore, a good replacement for human judgment, and it's not something to trust without, a subject matter expert's review, a subject matter expert human review. Um, but all of that said, it's not only for technical people. If you keep in mind, the key areas, guardrails, security limitations, etc., that you have to put in place. Everyone can safely and responsibly use AI once they keep these things in mind and they actually work within those guardrails. And within this series, we're going to learn how those guardrails actually work, why they're important, and how we can actually put some of them in place ourselves as we interact with these AI solutions. Now, there are two types of AI, basically. There's traditional AI and there's generative AI. You may hear it referred to as machine learning or something of that sort, but traditional AI has been around for a very long time, and it's typically used to analyze information and detect patterns, classify data, and make some predictions. So some examples will include things like being able to detect when you type your name into to log into your banking platform, the AI could actually look at your keystrokes and detect whether or not it is probably you that is typing. And if it has any doubts, it may ask you for additional ways of authentication. AI is typically used a lot, traditional AI, in antivirus solutions and spam filtering solutions because viruses can become very smart. So it's wonderful to have an AI that can detect based on past behavior of your computer or your system or your servers or your email whether or not this thing constitutes spam or a virus or a malware or whatever. AI is typically used a lot with in online consumer platforms to figure out what product recommendations to make to you when you're shopping. Amazon Prime Day is coming up, so AI is typically used to figure out what it should be suggesting for you, which is how it knows the types of things that you would like based on what you would have, looked at in the past. And then AI is used, and this kind of is generalized to make predictions, to make sales predictions or maintenance predictions when maintenance needs to take place on something, etc. It can also be used to make predictions about things like weather. And all of these happen in something called models. The brain of most types of AI is something called a model. All right. So traditional AI has models, and those models are usually pretty small and are usually extremely good. And when I say good, they don't usually make a lot of mistakes, are usually extremely good at maybe one thing. They're great at one thing. They don't do many things, they do one thing. So if something is making product recommendations for you, that is what it's good at. It makes product recommendations. That is the full use case for that thing. You cannot take it and use it to do something else. Now, generative AI is a little different. Generative AI creates new content based on things that the AI has already learned. And we're going to learn a bit about how that works in our next session on foundation models. So generative AI can write emails and reports and summaries and create images and video and music based on music it's already heard, based on images it has already seen, based on videos it has already viewed, based on emails and reports it has already seen that you have written. It can figure these things out, and based on past patterns, AI can figure out, this is how this should look like at this point. Moving forward, this is what this output should be. No, AI is also therefore pretty good at writing programming code. A lot of these AI models have been used in the present to understand huge code bases and then be able to predict how those code bases should be fixed, how those code bases should be deployed, etc. So it's really good at writing code as well. Now, these models are more general purpose and they are large for that reason. They're not good at one thing, they're good at many things. You can have one model that does all of these things, and those are large models typically. Small models, like traditional AI models, can run on things as small as your phone, whereas larger models typically will require, larger, more powerful computers to run. So the key takeaways for today: AI is a powerful tool. It's not magic though. It helps computers perform tasks that humans would normally be needed to perform. AI is useful, but it's not perfect. It does make mistakes. Traditional AI is very, very, very accurate. Very small models, but they're only good at one thing at a time. And that's all it does. This one model will do this one thing. So traditional AI is typically used primarily for analysis and predictions. Generative AI generates new content, and we're gonna see in our next session why I put those in quotation marks. And the best results come always from being able to use AI, but securely and responsibly within some reasonable guardrails. And we're going to look at those in subsequent sessions. In our next lesson, we're going to learn a little more about models, in specific foundation models that are used for generative AI. And we're going to understand what that means and why foundation models, the way they function, lead to some of the challenges that we see, like hallucination and bias, etc. So, looking forward to being with you next time. Have a wonderful rest of the day or night. Thank you for your attention.